Welcome to this fundamental tutorial. In this video, you're going to learn how to access public lists, how to create a list with the funds you want, how to edit a list, how to analyze the list of funds, and how to share this list with your contacts. Let's do it. Once you log into the platform, you can access the fund list section from the top menu, where it says fund list, or directly from the box in the dashboard. Simply click on the name and you will access the fund list section. At the top of the menu, you will see a search bar. The search bar will allow you to search for different funds lists. At the moment, you have many. To the left, you have a switch button that allows you to search by watch list name or by a fund embedded in one of the lists. At the top of this section, you will always find the public lists of funds created and maintained by Fundamental. These are lists that can be accessed by all users and contain funds from our sponsors, organized by asset class, as well as some ETF lists. To access them, simply click on the name on the list, and once you're inside, you will be able to see the name of the funds in this list, the ticker or ISIN of each of the funds, the date of the NAV, and the latest NAV. You can easily identify the benchmark of this list because it is surrounded by a blue border. To the right, you can find performance metrics on a year-to-date basis where you can sort 1 year, 3-year annualized, or 5-year annualized. Next, you have access to the inception date of this fund in the platform or the starting date or the first date of this fund, as well as the performance since inception non-annualized or annualized. To the right, you can find betas or alphas calculated against the benchmark of this list. And then volatilities at 1 year, 3-year, and 5-year, calculated with daily pricing or with monthly pricing. So you have access to both. Finally, you have the simplified Sharpe ratios for 1 year, 3-year, and 5-year period, where you can also sort them out. If you want to perform analytics on this list, all you need to do is click on the blue dot that appears on the bottom right. It will allow you to select all the funds or select the funds that you want to see in this study. Then you click on the arrow and it will open up the date range where you can select the dates where you can perform this study. Finally, you click continue and Fundamental will automatically present 8 studies at the top. The first one, you have a legend that you can hide. In this instance, you can see the rolling returns for year to date, 1 year, 3-year, and 5-year. You can click on the names to make the list simpler. Normalized price chart allows you to see from the beginning of the date range you selected the performance of all the components of this list. The next study is correlation matrix, where you can see the correlation of all the funds against themselves. Sharpe ratios for 1 year, with again the same dynamic legend, where you can hide and all the funds are tagged with the name and the Sharpe ratio. Sharpe ratios at 3 years and 5 years. You can also see the correlation over time of the different funds. And finally, we have the studies of volatilities. This is a 1-year volatility rolling window for each of the funds on your list. Next, we're going to create a new list. In order for me to do that, I will click on New Watch List at the bottom right. and I will assign a name. Once I do that, the next step is to select the asset class of my list. In this particular case, I'm going to build a global high yield list. In order for me to do that, the easiest way is to select fixed income. If I want to select a equity list, I will create a filter with the equity. And if I want to create a multi-asset list, I will select multi-asset. So we select fixed income and we click next. When we do that, we're going to see all the asset managers that are in the platform, but only the ones that have fixed income funds. Now, the next step is simply to select the funds that I want to see. I can search with ISIN or by name. If I type high yield, only the funds with the words high yield will appear on my list. So for instance, I can do this or this. If the funds are blue, they are UCITS, they are offshore funds. If the funds are in black color, they are domestic. So now I have built my list with 3 funds. I will click next, and I need to select the benchmark. In this case, we're going to select the high yield benchmark. We use ETFs for benchmarks because they are investable options comparable to the funds that we're selecting. We click next, and we select the columns we want to see in this list. Since we don't have any domestic funds, we're going to eliminate the Bloomberg and the CUSIP. And then we click done. And the list has been created. As you noticed, in the public lists, you will not find these 3 dots because you cannot modify this list. But in this one that has been created by myself in this case, you will click on these 3 dots and you have the ability to edit the list and add or eliminate funds. And you also have the ability to share the list with your contacts in Fundamental. If you want to delete the list, you can do it as well. We've built also a little button to facilitate sharing. So if you click simply on this button, all your contacts will appear there and you will be able to share.